Elijah tapped his fingers against the picnic table where he sat waiting for his men to return. They'd been gone for over 3 hours, much longer than they should have needed. He'd considered going into the forest to see where they were, but didn't want to risk being shot by friendly fire. A quarter moon hung over the sky, throwing off enough light to outline figures approaching the edge of the forest. Elijah's jaw dropped. Not again! Turner half-carried a man onto the road. Ivan trailed behind with a wagon full of food. He held a pistol in his free hand while his head swiveled from side to side. "Help me," Turner said. Elijah ran over and hooked Rory's arm over his shoulder. Rory, one of the younger men in the group, had insisted on helping on this mission. Initially, Elijah had been against it. He only wanted seasoned men on the team, but Turner had insisted on giving the young man a chance. "What happened?" Elijah asked. "He's been shot. We need to get him into the house." "Take him to mine." As they approached his house, several yards behind the church, Melinda stepped out of the shadows. "What's going on? Is that blood?" she asked. "Either help or get out of the way," Elijah snapped. Melinda scurried to the front door and opened it. She held it as Elijah and Turner pulled Rory into the room. "Shut the door," Elijah said. "What happened?" she asked. "He was shot," Turner said. "How?" "Get him on the kitchen table," Elijah said. "What's all the come-out?" Patrice stopped just outside the threshold to the bedroom. "Is that Rory?" "Go get Kat," Elijah commanded. As Patrice ran to get the nurse, Melinda grabbed a pair of scissors from the counter. She quickly cut away his shirt to reveal a gaping wound in the upper left quadrant of his chest. Adrenaline spiked through Elijah's stomach. He pressed his hands against the flow of blood. "Get a towel." Melinda grabbed a towel and handed it to him. The door opened and Kat rushed into the room. "Again?" she said. Melinda's gaze snapped to Kat. "What do you mean, again?" Elijah shot Kat and Turner a death glare. If they opened their mouths, he'd be forced to get rid of everyone in the room. He couldn't allow the congregation to find out 2 members had died while they were attempting to infiltrate that woman's property. Patrice stood in silent condemnation, judgment smeared across her face. When he glared, she scurried into the bedroom like a field mouse. "Get a bowl of hot, clean water," Kat said, breaking the uncomfortable silence. As Melinda headed into the kitchen, Elijah glanced at Turner, who mumbled a prayer under his breath. "He's not going to make it," Elijah said. "He's lost too much blood." "I need more light," Kat said. "I found a flashlight on the counter," Melinda said. "Here's the water." She set a bowl of steaming water on the table. After clicking on the flashlight, she directed the light into the bullet hole. A dark mass of pulsing flesh spewed blood from its depths. "I need to see if the bullet hit an artery," Kat said, as she gently probed the wound. "Shit! Right there!" Elijah's stomach turned. A rush of acid churned up his throat. He quashed it through sheer will. "Can you save him?" he asked. "Maybe. If I can get him stitched up, he'll need a massive dose of antibiotics to keep infection out. Do you have any?" Kat asked. Elijah cocked his head as if he were thinking. In truth, he'd hidden a full supply in his desk in the church. Another bottle sat in the medical supply bag in storage at the church. If he told them about the antibiotics, he'd appear altruistic, as if he was doing everything in his power to make sure Rory survived. But if he was going to die anyway, then why waste the drugs? "I need some tweezers," Kat said. "I'll get them," Elijah said. As he headed into the bathroom, he weighed his options. Did he really need to appear altruistic? Maybe saving the drugs for someone else would be a better strategy. After all, even if Rory recovered, it would take weeks, probably even months. He'd be a parasite in an otherwise healthy ecosystem. He grabbed the tweezers and returned to the living room.